please retweet the link. It is going to be going live momentarily. So we can help, share and grow and community conversation around arts and activism in action. And so hold tight momentarily, and we are going to go ahead and get started as soon as David Banner logs in.
All right.
Hello, good folks. Just working out one last little small technical difficulty. We're going to get started momentarily. Thank you for your patience.
We good to go? Can we fix this, John? See, it's all this screen. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family.
I got you.
You got me now?
Yeah,
you said it's loud? Okay.
No, I couldn't hear you before.
Oh, okay. Friends and family.
So with your brother?
Boys and girls, my man. The God Box. It's an honor and a pleasure. My big brother.
Oh man, I'm honored to be here, brother. Honored to be here. Man,
we can't fully express how much we appreciate you doing this, not just this year, but last year as well.
Oh man.
We know you're in high demand. You're very popular. You're well respected. And you don't have to do things like these. And so, man, we just want to extend our appreciation and sincere appreciation for not just this year, but last year as well.
Yeah, well, what I will say, bro, my father, I mean, I was raised in Mississippi. My father was from Mississippi. And, you know, I've learned to take the compliments because you can't stop the bad talk and the bad vibrations in a lot of cases, but I don't take reverence in the things that I feel like I'm supposed to do. You know, being an alpha male from my community who has been able to travel the world and acquire knowledge that has been taken away from our people, but isn't always privy to our folks. I'm honored to be the conduit of that light. So, you know, as much as it feels awesome, I try as hard as I can not to take reverence in what we're supposed to do, bro.
Yes, sir. Well, that don't stop me from giving it. All right.
Don't get it wrong.
My brother, David Banner, we are honored. My name is Hashim Jabar. We lost your picture. Saw that flash of the God Box, not a God Box, the God Box. I'm Hashim Jabar, H.A. Jabar, Interim Executive Director of Racial Justice Now, co-chair of the National Week of Action Committee for the Dignity in Schools campaign. Let me say it again, the Dignity in Schools campaign. If you didn't hear me the first time, dignity and respect in schools. And we're here on the 9th annual Week of Action. We're here in Chicago at our ally Kofi's office, parent organizing organization that has been parent organizing for over 20 years. This giant, our brother, David Banner, blessed us last year in New Orleans. And that's how we want to get it started. He blessed us in New Orleans and came out. It made a very impressionable situation. I see you got someone, I see it. What you want to say, brother?
No, bro, I just realized who you were, bro. No, you had the hat on, bro. I was about to go crazy. What's up, dog? I'm sorry. Let's keep it in dignity.
No. You know what? You know, brother, I'm blessed though, because when you came last year, we were in New Orleans. We had I put things in motion for your preparation to receive you as I felt properly. You know, I had Black Men Rising, an organization of young Black males that are under the guidance of our brother Antonio Travis and family and friends of Louisiana incarcerated children that are doing great work. So we had these 10 brothers, 12 maybe, prepared for your arrival. And when you arrived, man, not just the humility, but the instruction. He got out the car teaching, you know, giving reasoning and understanding and who he was and why he was, expressing that same humility, you know, then as you are now, you know. So it was very, very, very significant. I'm glad you realized who I am, because I am who I am.
Yeah, brother. I didn't notice you with the hat on, brother. But what I will say, man, is that Bro, I had so much respect. He had the young brothers on point. He had them on security. I mean, and you know, I even saw the excitement in the brothers' eyes, but they had to stay on point. And just what you did down there, man, for so many people, man. I was so honored to be a part of it, man. And the fact that once we got out the car, we sat down and we had real grown man talk. You know, that's one thing that I try to do, man. I don't try to act like I'm above, below anybody, man. It's simple. You know, our solutions are simple. You know, our problems are complex, but our solutions are simple. And it don't take all that uppity talk. It don't take all of that, you know, let me show my degree. It don't take that, I'm here, look at me, I'm a rapper, let me poke my chest out. It's just grown men and women sitting down, relating with each other about what's going on and coming up with some solutions and figuring out some things and some successes that people have had in other places, man. And I felt that, man, when I felt the sincerity, brother. I felt, you know, what I did feel was it was apparent that something needed to happen now in that space. And I could feel that, but it wasn't any panicking, brother. And I was happy to be in a situation, to be in a place and to have enough respect and fame to bring something to the table that not only would help people, but also make them excited. Because sometimes in the places where we from, bro, we don't get to touch on people. That's the reason why I hug on folks. That's the reason why I love on the people the way that I do, man. Because I know, man, when I was young in Mississippi and my heroes used to come to Mississippi, they used to act like we was nasty, bro. I never forget that, man. And that broke my heart, man. And I promised myself if I ever got in that position that I would make sure that I loved on our people, man. And you gave me the opportunity to do that, man.
You did, and you did it well. You know, the sister that was helping prepare for your arrival, she told me, you know, one thing she said, DB, he a country boy. You know what I'm saying? So he liked to talk. That was one thing. But she also said that he will stay to the very end and he will talk to everybody. And you did. You stayed to the end. It was a long line. Everybody wanted to picture. Everybody wanted to talk to you, have a dialogue, man. And you stayed. And
but I love, but bro, this is the thing that people don't understand, bro. I love my people. Actually, man, I have to be honest with you. That's probably one of my weaknesses, bro, because all of our people don't have the same intent for us, bro. You know, and that's something I want to sit down and talk to you personally when we get a chance to link up again, man. We're going to have to find a way to identify those who are really about the work, man, because a lot of times we give people passes that they don't deserve just because they have the same hue as we do. You know, and we all know throughout history, man, most of our revolutions have been thwarted by people who look just like us, bro. You know, so my heart is always open to my people. And I always try to give as much love as I possibly can because I love them. It ain't just, you know, me giving something to them. You know, it makes me feel just as good to be in and around my people. I need them just like they need me, you know?
Absolutely, man. I'm here. This is Brother H.A. Jabar with the Dignity in Schools campaign on our 9th annual week of action to end the school to prison pipeline. This year's theme is counselors, not cops. Let me say it again, counselors, not cops. And so we're here at the 9th annual week of action with this giant, the God Box, the lyrical genius, David Banner. Yes, we picked that joint up, the God Box. Yes, we've been banging it in our stereo. So shout out to Black Thought because on the track, you know, you mentioned your father, brother, and you mentioned my hat. And he said he had a message from the Moors, you know what I'm saying? And so my great grandfather to the 3rd degree is Bishop John Jameson Moore. And so my hat is honors to the Moorish tradition, which is a long tradition of knowledge, wisdom, understanding that we'll go into in another time. But what I really want to get into to start off our conversation, brother, is an article on progressive.org. And we're going to share this article and this picture on the Dignity in Schools campaign Twitter feed about you and the work that you did last year. And I'm going to read this article, just a little bit of it. So it says, this fall, Rasan Eisen got his own special graduation ceremony. After his New Orleans high school said he would never graduate, Rasan received his diploma not from the school principal, but from rapper and record producer David Banner. So this young man, Rasan Eisen, it was a student, a high school student in New Orleans, and the sister, Ashana Bagard, is up on progressive.org. Like I said, we're going to share this article. She called when she found out that you had accepted to be the special guest. And she called me directly because she said Rasan had been suspended for crossing over a railroad track, which he was not allowed to do, which he did not know on his way to school because he was running late. So Rasan is a musical artist. You can listen to his music up on SoundCloud. And he was suspended, and make a long story short, they did not allow him as a senior to walk across the stage. He sent his diploma to the security office. I didn't say the principal's office. I didn't say the vice principal's office. He sent his diploma to the security office and said he could pick it up from there. And so Ashana took it upon herself. She said, can David Banner give him his diploma? And I said, I don't know, but I will call and find out. And through a couple of phone calls, he said, absolutely, we will do it. And so again, this article in progressive.org goes into the detail about this young man, Rasan Eisen, family and friends of Louisiana incarcerated children, a Dignity in Schools member who supported his family through years and years of struggle. And as that struggle continued, when he was suspended from school, he wouldn't give him his diploma. But guess what? DB, are you with me? Hold up, time out. Now, some of us listen to gospel music, not me per se, but this is a brother named Kurt Franklin. He said, GB, are you with me? I think, is that right? I got a new phrase today. I say, DB, are you with me? And yes, he was, but he was with our brother. He was with our brother Rasan Eisen and gave him his degree, man. That's love. So can we reflect on that moment for you, brother? Can we reflect on that moment from your point of view?
With me, brother, I didn't tell nobody, bro. It almost brought me to tears, man, because he broke down, man. All of the stuff that young, it's hard enough, especially when brothers come from the situations and the backgrounds that we come from. It's hard enough to stay in school, period. I have this book that I want to read. I want to write that's called From Door to Door. And I want to write about these kids from these big cities like New York, New Orleans, Miami, Chicago, Los Angeles, and the stuff that it takes them just for them to get from the door of their house to the door at school. One of my best friends, she is the vice principal at Eagle Academy in Harlem. And the horror stories that she tells me about these children just getting, whether it's walking through the drug-infested neighborhoods, whether it's ducking the gangs, whether it's, people rival schools, whether it's, them leaving home hungry. Like the stuff that a lot of Black kids have to go through just to get to school, for him to have to go through that from grown-ups. And that's the sad thing, man. Like a child, I just came from lecturing today in Dallas, and a child asked me, he was like, David Banner, why are you focusing on these grown-ups so much? And I said, because if we did better, then y'all would come out better. You all are a direct reflection of what we did or did not do. And the sad thing is, I don't know if there was Black people that were involved in that, but if there were any grown Black person who was involved in making it hard for a child who had good grades to get out of school, you're pushing him towards the prison pipeline, that person needs to be taken out back, and we need to pull switches like we used to do in Mississippi and beat them. Because it doesn't make any sense, man, as hard as it is to even make it every day in America, for that child to have gone through that, man. So for me to be a part of that, and for me to be, something that sort of told them, y'all don't have to give our children their degrees, we're giving to them ourselves. And I think that's one of the problems in America with our people in general. I always say, I don't know if I said this at you all's event, but I always ask people if Nazis teach Jewish children. And people will always say no. Even kids say no. Even my homies from the hood would be like, no. Then I say, well, why do you allow your oppressor to teach your children? You know, and for me, like, we continue to wonder why our children keep malfunctioning. It's because we keep sending them to people who don't care about them like we do and teaching the wrong type of history, you know? So for me to be able to do that, brother, I was honored, and I hated that his parents and his siblings had to go through that. But what I will say is, through his struggle, we were able to see firsthand what they're doing to our children in the places that they're supposed to be educating and protecting them.
You said so much there. You said that we should take them out back with switches. And so to that point, you know, the Dignity in Schools campaign has been working, organizing advocacy and policy. One of the things that we do, our work is a model code. So every school has a student code of conduct. Right. And Racial Justice Now, a few years ago, pushed our school district in Dayton Public Schools to change the student code of conduct. Dignity in Schools campaign field organizer at the time came out and pushed that we remove zero tolerance language. He came out and did a training for principals and removed those. But we also put parents on the committee to change the policies. Now parents are policy members, and they are having the ability to create policy along with the school districts. But in this model code, I want to bring up the fact in Mississippi, it is still legal. It's on the books. And it's one of the demands that we stop paddling children in schools. And so the model code can be found on the Dignity in Schools campaign website for parents, for students, for community members and others to see how they can change the school district that they live in.
But when I was there taking my outside and whooping with switches, I was talking about the grown-ups.
I know. I was taking your cue though. I was taking your cue. You gotta lean with it, rock with it when
you gotta take the alley-oops when they throw, brother.
DB, are you with me? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. You expressed so much to us, and I was blessed, man, to have that unique opportunity to sit down with you. And you mentioned, and so today, in this brief time that we have together, I want to peel back the layers. A lot of people know Get Like Me, David Banner, you know what I'm saying? All of these hits that you've produced and that you've made. But I don't think many of us know the David Banner, the educator. And I don't say educator like I'm just teaching, like I'm rapping. No, I'm talking about the professionally trained substitute teacher at one time, the professionally trained student that attended University of Maryland, Baltimore Shore, if I'm not incorrect.
No, it was Eastern Shore, but we there.
Eastern Shore. So that dropped out of a master's program. The David Banner that has been in Baltimore schools or Texas schools, the David Banner that is a professional educator. So let's peel back some of the layers as we rep and present with the National Week of Action, the Dignity in Schools campaign.
Yeah. Man, I'm glad that you said that, man, because one of the things that I am going to do when I become a multi-millionaire or a billionaire, and I am working on that now, I want to come back to our schools and teach our children how to make real money. I went to Southern University in Baton Rouge, where I was SGA president. I was student government president, but I took entrepreneurship at LSU. And they had a multimillionaire or a billionaire to come to our class every week. This was something that they didn't do at Southern. And those white boys told us the truth. They was like, man, the stuff that y'all learning in these classrooms are not going to help you be me, not going to truly help you become an entrepreneur. He said, what they said, well, actually, only one of them had gone to college. And the rest, I don't even think most of them had even finished high school. They all told me, in order for you to run a business, all you have to do is create one, start one, and fail. He was like, and they taught us the real ins and outs of becoming an entrepreneur. He said the stuff that y'all learn in school teaches y'all how to maintain my business, not run your own. And that stayed with me for the rest of my life. I said, I want to go and teach my people the real ins and outs. Because he said something. He said, think about business. He said, soon as you become successful at business in one way, the way that this American system is set up, they want most people to fail and depend on the system. So as soon as you become successful, then they find ways to thwart that. You know what I'm saying? So business changes every day. He was like, real business and on the level that I do business, he said by the time you printed a textbook, it would already be outdated. Business changes so much. Technology changes so much. So for me, I wanted to be that person to be able to come back. Because you even think about it. And you and I both know this, man, from Marcus Garvey to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm, Martin, all of these people. I'm not saying anything different than any of our brothers, Dr. John Henry Clark, or any of these brothers have said throughout history. The thing that makes me a little bit different is the fact that I am successful, is the fact that I'm a rapper and I'm an entertainer. So what happens is I'm able to keep their attention. So if you are a teacher and they know you're a billionaire, and I remember this actually happened. I was teaching out in LA, and I was doing a lecture out in LA, and they didn't really know that because it was actually a classroom full of Mexican children, and they didn't really know who I was. And they looked outside and saw a Bentley. And they was like, say, Holmes, who Bentley? And I said, it's mine. And they all went, whatever you got to teach, we can get that out.
Tell them, get like me, young.
So for me as a teacher, man, I've always wanted to come back and really teach our people. Even like the business that I run, people don't know. You can go online and check out abannervision.com. In my business, I actually, a lot of my students or the people who work for me, a lot of them trip because I tell them, I don't want you to work for me for long. I want you to make mistakes with my business, learn by messing up my money and experimenting with my business. And then I want you to go out into the world and run your own. The only thing that I ask my employees is that just don't leave a hole in my corporation. If you think that you're ready to go out and start your own company, bring up somebody else. Let me hire somebody else, teach them the ropes, and then you go out and you be successful.
Man, I'm H.A. Jabar, Interim Director of Racial Justice Now. That's rjnohio.org. We're here with the great David Banner, bannervision.com. We're here at the 9th Annual Dignity in Schools Campaign Week of Action. We're here with our allies in Chicago, Kofi, and we're so very proud of the work that they've been doing. This week of action, we work in the school to prison pipeline. We have a model code that we are pushing forward. We have organizers, advocacy, and policy persons all over the nation. We are over 125 organizations, a coalition of over 125 organizations in over 25 states and Washington, D.C. So we hope that you will tune in to this great work that's being done as we continue our conversation with the great Mr. David Banner.
Before you ask me the next question, I want to tell you how proud I am of you also, bro. People don't realize, bro, when we decide to take this work head on the way that we do, how much it affects our lives, how much it affects our families, the hours that we have to put into it, the sacrifices that we have to make. And I just want you to know how proud I am of you and the sacrifices that you're making, man, because in so many cases, you spend so much time uplifting other people, bro. You know, people don't know that we actually be out here, man. And there's a couple of times that I've ran into life-threatening situations for what I believe in and for Black children. And people don't get to see that aspect of it. People don't get to see the danger. People don't see the fact that our families and our friends have to suffer. In a lot of cases, our relationships have to suffer because of this work that we have to do, bro. So I just wanted you to know how proud I am of you, man.
Man, I received that, man. I received it. My wife, who you met, who was cheating, answering all your questions. You try to ask the hard questions to the young people. She's in there answering all the questions like, let the man teach, you know. But she's in the other room, brother, and you know, we are what they call a directly impacted family. You know, our son was one of those statistics. In the state of Ohio, they did some research, and they found, the Schott Foundation did some research. There was children that were expelled or suspended in pre-K and kindergarten in the state of Ohio. 100% of them were Black boys. I'm gonna say it again for those that might not have caught it. 100% of the Black boys, or excuse me, 100% of those pre-K and kindergarten students suspended and or expelled in the state of Ohio were Black boys. And so you're a brilliant artist, a writer, a producer. And this book here is a work from a professor at the University of Massachusetts, an ally of the Dignity in Schools campaign, again, from the University of Massachusetts, who has outlined and dialogued with people all over the country that are working in education justice. My wife is the first chapter of the book, Zakiya Sankara Jabar, and you will be surprised to know, maybe not surprised to know, the title of the chapter says, "I Can't Make a Teacher Love My Son." Yeah. And so I receive that, and my wife receives that. And so I appreciate that, bro, sincerely. So as we continue the role of artists in social justice, you don't have to be doing what you're doing. And from what you explained to me and us was, in a sense, you might have given up your career, you know, from lights, camera, action, from big advances and or contracts to continue the status quo of the type of music that's being put out. But you decided, or had decided for you by energy and spirit or what have you, that you was going to take a different route. Whether you know, however it happened, you know. And so the role of an artist in social justice, could you expand on that for us?
Well, let me say something. And some people are surprised when I say this. I don't believe that it's a artist's responsibility to do anything but honestly tell their stories, and be successful at telling their stories. It has nothing to do with me, David Banner, as an artist. I've always been this type of man. It's the type of man or woman you are. If that's the type of man or woman you are, then that's going to transfer over into everything that you are. Think about you. You are a revolutionary father. You are a revolutionary husband. You are a revolutionary teacher. It's who you are as a man. Like, I've always been this way. Like you said, SGA president, I did this. I was a teacher before. I'm a teacher now. I was a teacher when I was hustling. You know, this has always been me. The thing is I think sometimes, and I talk about this all the time, that everybody is waiting, well, not everybody, but so many people, Black people, had this Jesus complex. They're looking for somebody to drop out of the sky and help them. You know, they're looking. I had to tell a man today, he asked me a question. He says, why aren't you, trying to push other artists and the 1% to do this and do that? I told him, because I don't believe they'll ever do it. Most people who are successful, they got successful without people being exactly the way that they are. America lives off, there's a symbiotic relationship between America and Black people. America was built off of slavery. That is the reason why they're trying to push our kids to prison, is because in order for it to stay as be as powerful as it is, it needs its bloodline back again. And its bloodline has always been slavery. So for me, our people sometimes, I don't know why they believe that our oppressors are going to wake up one day and be better or change. They think that America is going to change. They think one vote is going to change their whole entire life because they're looking for somebody else to do it. I don't look for artists to do it. I look for Black men and women who have it on their heart. Some artists need to shut the hell up, and they need to go home right after they finish rapping. I don't want them to speak on behalf of us at all. I think what happens is that we don't hold everybody accountable. You know, we have to hold these teachers accountable. One thing that I hate, they hold rappers accountable more than they do the people who are elected and paid to do the things that they say some of these rappers should do. I charge men. If you are a man, if you happen to pick up trash for a living or you happen to rap, I charge men. So I don't specifically place that responsibility on artists because that's the cop-out. You know, we don't say nothing about any other. We don't talk about Heinz ketchup. We don't talk about Newports. We don't talk about Nike. We don't talk about football players, basketball players. We don't talk about engineers. We don't talk about lawyers. We don't talk about some of the preachers who suck our communities dry and do nothing or give nothing back to the people. You know, I just think it's a cop-out when people sit back and talk about artists all the time, man, because in most cases, most of these artists that people want to give, that they want them to give back, they ain't never done nothing for them for the most part. And a lot of those kids don't know how to give back. Nobody ever gave to them. So for me, I put that charge on myself. I don't know how someone else was raised. I know how I was raised. And like you say, that's my spirit pushed me, bro. When I wasn't doing right, I couldn't sleep at night. You know, so for me, I think we should put, because I was just telling somebody today, Black people are real hype on voting, but you know how our people are. As soon as we cast that vote, we go right back to sleep. We have to create an agenda and hold people to that agenda throughout their whole entire tenure. Now, if someone stands on a political platform as an artist, I get that. But what's funny to me is most of these artists tell you that they're about the bag and that's it. And then you get surprised when they don't do nothing. These rappers are telling you how they feel about you. When I come to your town, it's me and your old lady until I leave. And that's the ones that we throw all the money at. So the rappers are the most honest people because the gangsters tell you what they're going to do. They tell you what they stand for. They tell you how they get their money and how they will continue to get their money. So then they tell you that they push poison in your community, that they don't care nothing about you. All they really want is the bag. And then you get surprised when they don't come back and do stuff for your community when they told you they wasn't coming back in the first place. The problem is I think if we put our money in more secure places, if we put our attention in more secure places, then we would get better return. You know what I'm saying? Because it's funny to me, the people who give the most and do the most for the community are the people in most cases that the community in most cases does the least for. Malcolm died with $300 to his pocket. Martin Luther King was being funded by Harry Belafonte and his friends. You know what I'm saying? And these are the two people that in recent history has given so very much, and still to this day, they family messed up. And Black people want to sit around and talk about accountability. You know, we have to start doing each other better. We have to start investing in those who truly invest in us, bro. And I think as much as we point the finger, all of these people who talk about responsibility, people always come and ask me, hey, bro, what you doing for the hood now? What you doing for the hood now? And I always turn around asking, bro, what you do? Oh, no. What are you doing? Well, man, you see, bro, I gave an example today. I was in a community in South Dallas that had 800, it was about 800 families in the community. And I said, pull out your iPhones. I said, if everybody in this community gave $100 a month, how much would it be? Bro, then I say now times 12. It was close to $1 million. It was about 96. I think it was about $96 million. $9,600,000, bro. Like we are looking for things when the answer is right there in the mirror. Like Michael Jackson said, the man in the mirror. So as it pertains to accountability, man, I think it's all of our responsibility to do what we can when we can.
Man, you getting it live and direct from Mr. David Banner himself, the God Box. We are here. I'm H.A. Jabar, Interim Executive Director with Racial Justice Now, celebrating the 9th annual Dignity in Schools campaign week of action. We are here in Chi-Town.
Bro, you got me so lit over here, bro. I'm gonna have to figure out all the things I do so I can say, my name is David Banner, CEO of Banner Vision.
Hey. Well, check this out. You know, I'm gonna go back. I saw our friends and family when you came out to New Orleans last year. It was a part of it was the National Week of Action, but another part of it, shout out to Community for Just Schools Fund, that they financed that so that you could come out and be a part of the conversation on race. We have the video of you speaking, you know, and I was blessed to do the introduction. And based on our conversation that we had, you know, I had to alter and add some things in the introduction, and it was good, but I ain't really get it like I wanted to get it, right? And so I told your team, I said, next time. So I'm telling you directly. Next time, DB are your wet man. Check this out. You said something very important. You know, we take culture, and again, you talked about the hat, and I gave an understanding, you know, about the hat. It's not just the hat; it's affairs. And so our tradition, our culture, our language, hip hop is not just music. Hip hop started off as a culture, and so at the time, I shared that we were on a campaign to promote culturally relevant curriculum and culturally responsive schools. We are now in the third year of our campaign. We've pushed our school district to add culturally relevant books. We added Booker T. Washington's book, Up From Slavery. We pushed him to add Miseducation of the Negro. We're still working on that by the great Dr. Carter G. Woodson, honoring our ancestors. But I said that because you said a storyteller, that you were a storyteller, that you were a teacher. And that's a part of our campaign, that we need more storytellers or training of storytellers, because as you rap the music, a lot of teachers have to learn how to rap or tell that story in the classroom. So this culturally relevant curriculum is online, available for free. It's a compilation of some of the great ancestors that you talked about that we stand on their shoulders.
Hey, I want to show everybody that's tuned in, just so they know, bro, I stopped collecting Jordans a long time ago and started collecting first edition books, bro. I'm building a library, bro. That's what I do, is books. And I want to show that, man, because in so many cases, we think that people just wake up this way, bro. You have to train your mind, man. Marcus Garvey said every free moment that you have for the rest of your life, you should always be reading. You should be reading something, man, reflecting. I just want people to know that I didn't bump my head, man. I'm always trying to research. I'm always trying to put something in my mind, man, because I realize that you are a slave to what you don't know. You know, I always tell our people we should be careful. I am a proponent of technology, but to a certain degree. Technology should assist the man, not think for the man. And Black people are putting, you know, so much money into cryptocurrency and the iPhones and all those things, and nobody that you know can fix one. You know, we don't know how to get to our grandma's house no more without, you know, GPS.
And we're not being taught to read a map.
Right. Our kids can't write in cursive anymore. Half of them can't even write, and they're supposed to be intelligent. And the thing is that we can't allow someone else, because, and what they do is they market towards our laziness. So we think something is convenient. And I always tell people, man, and when I thought about this, it blew my mind. Everybody is in a rush. Everybody wants convenience, but not going nowhere, and don't have nothing to do. What you rushing for? You know what I'm saying? Like, well, you got some money to get to. You know what you trying to do? Why are you rushing? Why are you not writing full sentences? You know, even when I'm on Twitter, bro, even though it has limited amount of characters, let me tell you what I use Twitter for. I use Twitter to get more concise statements with less words. So I don't use I don't break words up. I don't use slang. I don't use shorter forms of words. It just makes me take a second to think and get a more powerful statement and a more concise way of speaking. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that was real important because a lot of times they turn our heroes into caricatures and they don't show the grind. They don't show the studying. They don't show climbing mountains. They don't show meditation. They don't show, you know, when we go back to school, bro. I'm thinking about going back to school for quantum physics, bro. I love physics, man. And, you know, just for myself to push my mind, whether I use it or not, I just want, I want something to push me, man. I want something to be hard to me so I can conquer it and move to that next level of consciousness because I just did a 30-day fast, bro. You
30
know,
days?
30 days.
What did you, water, coffee, what you have?
It was water, it was fluids, soup, and some salad if I needed it. But what I found out, bro, even the way that they lie to us, and bro, I was doing advanced training, I was fighting because they lie to us about food and how much we need food. So we stuff ourselves and that cuts off our connection with God. You know, they were even saying, bro, that we can do the same thing that a lizard can do. Like our nails growing back, our hair growing back. That's no different. We could actually probably grow limbs back. But one of the reasons why we can't achieve that level of physical mastery is because our body is always concentrating on digestion. That's why if you look at any religion, bro, I don't care what religion, whenever they wanted to get closer to a higher source, they stopped stuffing stuff in their mouth, bro.
Oh, man, you are getting it thick out here with the God box, Mr. David Banner. Oh, man, you're getting it good. You're not hearing this anywhere else. There's no other rapper talking about this. This is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, man. We are thankful for this because this is changing lives. Did you see his library? The Book of God.
Hold on, we gonna feel, bro.
Oh my goodness, man, this is so significant. And this is how we switch gears because again, you were being yourself. Black Men Rising. Shout out to family and friends of Louisiana incarcerated children and Black Men Rising. These young brothers, when we got out the truck, we were prepared for you, man, but we were not prepared in the sense that we knew what you were coming with because you came out the truck teaching, instructing, sharing wisdom. And one of the books that's on your bookshelf, and we're going to take it there because this is deep, right? This is significant. One of the books you said changed your life, was so significant in your life, was Anthony Browder's From the Browder's File. Hold up. No. Hold on now. You might want to put your seatbelt on for this. So Anthony Browder, we as an organization, our youth division, the West Dayton Youth Task Force, after seeing you, it had already been in motion, but after seeing you and hearing you tell those young brothers about a Browder file, we were signing a MOU, a memorandum of understanding, to be a part of his national organization as youth. Hold on, it gets worse, bro. Hold up.
It gets better.
He with you. He being with us. We were being a part of his national organization to read his book, break it down chapter by chapter. We've received videos directly from him. This is through a Black Education Network. I want everybody, friends and family, look that up, ABEN4ACE.org. ABEN4ACE.org. A Black Education Network based out of San Francisco. Shout out to Mama.
So I can write it down.
ABEN, number 4, ACE.org. That rhymes. I'm a rapper part-time. But so we were part of this national program of this book that you claim, and you have a poster. I look forward to you sharing it because I've been sharing it. We shared it, put it on our flyer as a part of our promotion to attract parents and students. And so as a part of his national program, we did a full year. Mr. Browder, again, he sent videos. We met on Saturdays for once a month. So could you share with us, shout out to Tony Browder, just the coolest brother in the world, man, Mr. Cool. Share with us, please, the Browder files and what was so significant. And this is the last thing I'm gonna say before I let you share. The thing that moved me most about this book, and Mr. Browder, he said that he will receive continual letters from brothers in prison about this book and how it changed their lives. And oftentimes it was the first book that they read. And you mentioned how plain the language was.
Yes.
So please share, brother, about this book, Browder from the Browder.
It's funny. Anthony Browder is similar to how Malcolm was, bro. Like, what people didn't know, man, Malcolm probably had one of the largest word counts in America. But when he spoke to the people, he never tried to show off. You would hardly ever, as eloquently as he spoke, you never really heard him use a word that the average Black man couldn't grasp. You know, and that's one of the things I used to tell my homeboys who used to build out on the corner. I was like, bro, are you really trying to build, or are you trying to show how smart you are? Like, we have to make sure that our people can get it. Now, right. One thing that Anthony Browder taught me, now, we do have to move out of kindergarten now. You know, we start with the Browder Files, but we have to move and then come back. So for me, the Browder Files, man, I read that in the 11th grade. That's why I tell all these people who act like I just got conscious last year or 2 years ago. I've been conscious since the 11th grade because of this book. This book shifted my whole way of thinking. The problem is, though, and I always tell people this, if you don't have a bed to sleep in, how can you dream? The consciousness wasn't able to connect. I didn't know how to connect it. So it took me becoming successful and stepping back and being able to use these things, because, you know, it's sort of hard to tell a kid not to hustle if you don't have nowhere else if you don't have anything to replace that with. Right. I always tell people, God put us on this earth to do two things. It's to procreate and survive. You know what I'm saying? So for me, the Browder Files put it simple and plain. And then I read the Browder Files and books like that a little bit different than most people do. I read a chapter a day. Most people try to breeze through a book, you know, in a couple days or a week or so, when it took some people years to write this information, research this information. So you're not going to get it in one sitting. You're not going to get it by reading all of those chapters and getting all that new information. We need to learn to slow down. So what I would do with the Browder Files is I would read it. Well, the first time I did breeze through it because I didn't know, you know, I didn't really know. That was the first time that was actually the first time I ever read a book from cover to cover. But now when I read the Browder Files, I read it in the morning, I read it on lunchtime, and then I read it before I go to bed. And the reason is, when you first grasp a concept, you have to do something that's called word cleansing. That means that you understand all of the words. You research all the words. You look up all the words. I keep a dictionary on my phone or close to me. All right. The second time I read it during lunch, I'm grasping the concept. Okay, I see what he means. Now, by the third time, I got it and then trying to figure out if I agree with it. You feel me? So the Browder Files, man, literally changed the whole course of my life. And the thing that I like about Brother Browder, man, is he became my mentor. Like, how many people on this planet, man, like, you know, most people would say, like, Malcolm X changed my life. Well, Malcolm was dead before I was born. To be able to have access, you can go right now, no matter who you are. He was the first Black man from America to do an excavation in Egypt. You can go right now, pay your money, and go on that excavation with him. Like, he is walking history, man. And that book changed my life. I even put it in my God box. I bought thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of books from him to pass that knowledge on to other people, man. And so I'm eternally grateful for him and his work.
Oh man, this is so rich that we need a part two. You know what I'm saying? You know, the energy, the spirit. So last year, this time was our introduction to Anthony Browder's program. We spent 6 months, January to June, a part of the program, a part of our culturally relevant curriculum campaign. Ended it by going to DC, taking young people to DC. We had young people from California, and Dayton was the only city outside of California that went. And so we received a personal tour from him at the African American Museum there. We have an opportunity this year, again, we're part of the program, we have an opportunity to go to Egypt with him, just like you said about that excavation. But since then, based on the work of Mama Deborah Watkins and the Black Education Network, we have been on tour educating educators. We've been to Philly. We've been to the Chi-Town, the Windy City. The next stop is the ATL, shawty. We coming to the ATL January 12th. We coming. So all the tickets already booked.
Bro, we're going to have to find a way to get y'all to Mississippi, man. Our people need you, bro. They really do.
Shout out to Southern Echo, man. Shout out to the Mississippi Round Table, man. Shout out to the Nolly Jenkins Community Center, man. The Dignity in Schools campaign has a number of organizations in Mississippi. Our parent organizer from Racial Justice Now, shout out to Sister Cameron. Cameron, shout out to Sister Cameron. She was there last year to support the groups in Mississippi around the Every Student Succeeds Act. So yes, we coming to Mississippi because why? Because DB is with us. DB, are you with me?
All the time, baby.
Oh, yeah. Brother, we are just extremely thankful. So I want to send out another shout out to Baba Tony Browder, Black Education Network, Racial Justice Now, and the West Dayton Youth Task Force. Part of this tour that we're on, educating educators, Dr. Chiki Akua, Obi the Wiz, who gives some beautiful understanding on how to use hip hop music. My man say, if you teach it in a rhyme, they learn it in half the time.
They do.
If you teach it in rhyme, they learn it half the time. I don't want to put hip hop music in my curriculum. I don't want to. We have to help them to understand the significance. It's not just music, it's a culture. And so the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that came with it is so significant. Can't leave out Dr. Stephen Hancock on this tour. So I'm sorry, brother. Jump in there.
I'm just going to say, bro, because I know we're wrapping it up. Malcolm said by any means necessary, and that didn't just mean violence, man. See, that's the thing. A lot of these teachers don't care nothing about these kids. You know, they want to profess and they want to project. If you know a better way or you find a better way to teach these kids, you're supposed to do it by any means necessary. If it's the rhymes, whatever it may end up being, man, we have to get these kids attention, man. You know, and I appreciate you for pushing that curriculum, man, because we need people who care about what these children are interested in, bro.
Man, we are wrapping this up with Mr. David Banner, the God Box. This is Brother David Banner. This is my first children's book. It's not my first book.
Keep it up there. I'm going to screenshot it. Gotcha.
It's my first children's book called Ahmad Saves a Nation. And you mentioned storytelling. And so we tell a story about a young Black man post-slavery and the things that he's doing in his community. It incorporates the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. It incorporates activities, it incorporates if-then questions to creatively think, to critically think. And we are pushing forward culturally relevant curriculum and culturally responsive schools. I'm H.A. Jabar with the Dignity in Schools campaign. I'm the executive director of Racial Justice Now, closing this out with the God Box. This has been a powerful, powerful, powerful moment. And you gave so many jewels, so many diamonds, so much that to extract, man, from that we have for. We're pushing for counselors, not cops. There's a lot of trauma in our community. There's a lot of police in schools. They've tried to use the things that have been happening recently to increase the police presence in school, which is only worsening the situation and increasing the amount of young people that are being pushed in the school to prison pipeline. But we have the God Box with us that's fighting back against the school to prison pipeline. So we're not suckers, man. We're not chumps, and we fight back. Right. Yes, we fight back. And it's giants like you that are helping us. Although, yes, he is a rapper. Yes, he is an artist, but he is using his art in a manner, in a way to improve society. So we appreciate our brother. And any last things you want to share, and then I'm gonna close it out properly.
Okay, it's a couple things. One thing, if anybody, a lot of people said that they learned a lot and the actual God Box has helped them. If anybody wants a God Box, You can purchase them at davidbanner.com. All of the stuff, the albums, everything. And From the Broader File is actually in the actual God box. So that's very important, davidbanner.com. For me, man, it's just being able to support each other, man. And the thing that I will say is that I think the biggest way, man, that we can change a lot of the stuff that's going on is if we loved our children like a lot of our people love the American dream. I think a lot of our people love the American dream more than they love their children. I believe that if other races of people knew that Black people truly would live and die for their children, a lot of this stuff wouldn't happen. Black people in the community don't do a lot of stuff that they do to other races of people because they know they'll go to jail forever. You know, Black folks feel like, and they know this, they know the system. You know, if you do something to a Black person, as long as it's not doing a political year, you may get 3 months to 3 years. You do something to any other race of people, you're going to jail forever. So we have to make people feel like and know that our children are worth dying for. And that's one of the commonalities. And I think that's one of the things that draw me and you together. We talk about curriculums and we're trying to find other ways, but you know, we have some alternative methods that we can use to help quicken some of this stuff if we have to. And that's something that we talk about offline. So for me, man, it's short. I just want to tell you how much I thank you, man, and your passion. And it makes me feel so good. They said that you had your Siri on before me. And that's one of my personal friends. Me and my friends, we try to keep our personal friendships out of the limelight so people won't know who to attack. But Jasiri, I've been to his house, man. I know his wife. I know his children. You know, so to know that you are around good company, not just with me, man, you have my support, man. And I've been all smiles since I saw it was you and I recognized your face, man. I just want you to know that I'm proud of you. Tell your family, tell your wife.
Thank you.
Hello. And I thank you all, man, for deeming me worthy of this, man. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. You can grab the Racial Justice Now is on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, DignityInSchools campaign.org on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. Check us out. And I just want to end by extending blessings to all of these over 100 organizations, over 125 organizations across the nation that have worked hard this week, man, to raise awareness, that have organized, that have sacrificed to let people know what's going on, that are pushing policy, youth groups, parent groups, legal advocates, social advocates are doing all that they can to put an end to the school to prison pipeline. So I want to send them positive vibes, positive affirmation, positive energy, man. And I want to thank you so much. This right here is going to go across the world, brother. Real rap. It's going to go across the world, man. So I want to extend from the power, man, of our ancestor angels, from the power of the Supreme One, from the power of all that is within and all that is without, man, to extend you blessings, man. May your bread basket overflow, man, so that your blessings be multiplied continually and that you be able to use those blessings to bless others, man. I pray, man, and I dig deep and ask and seek that power, man, be with you, be around you, that you be guided, that you be given vision, that you are given the power of discernment.
Thank you, bro.
To see what is around you, the spirit that is around you, the energy that is around you, so that you can operate at your optimum level, man. Did you hear what he said? He said he want a physics degree. Come on, man. What rapper is talking about that, man? What rapper is talking about? This is not an average brother. This is not a common man you talking to. DB, are you with me? Yes, sir.
Life, bro. We can't get rid of you.
Hey, that next introduction, I'm telling you.
So listen, brother, before I click off, I want to ask you for a favor now, okay?
Hold on.
I realize
for a favor, Lord have mercy.
I realize something, man. We are not worth anything to our people if we burn out. I want you and your wife to make sure that y'all get some downtime, bro. That's just for you. I've learned we are better for our people for a week at 100% than for 5 months at 30%. Just make sure, man, that y'all replenish yourself, that you go somewhere. I go up into the mountains now, bro. I cut my phones off and I disappear for a while so I can recharge back, man. So that when I do come back for my people, man, that I'm well rested. Just promise me, bro, if you can do it, man, that you and your wife and y'all family, y'all go somewhere and cut off, man, and rest, bro. Because, bro, you be on 100 just like I used to be, and I almost broke, bro. I had a physical breakdown, and I couldn't move for 7 months, and people don't know that, bro, because I love my people so much. I run so hard, man, that I forgot about resting, bro. So just make sure, man, that you all allot some time the same way you put me on your schedule, the same way that you put the organization on the schedule. Make sure that you put time for rest, man.
No, you got it. I'll grant you that favor, brother. I grant you that. I love you, soldier. Honors to the Moors, man. David Banner, the God Box, tuning in, tuning out. We appreciate you. Original salute to love, DB, bro, who is with us. Love, man. Peace.
Peace.
All right, conversation